PlayStation Vita Remote Play reviews analyze and critique how a game plays on Vita via Remote Play. My opinions don't necessarily reflect on the quality of the game. However, in some instances, I will speak a bit about the actual game itself. Lastly, the final review score that is given is based purely on how the game plays on Vita. Thanks, and be sure to subscribe if you're also a member of Vita-island. What's up guys, Brett Medlock here, and today I want to talk about one of the greatest games of all time. It's pretty much a known thing that since this game released in 2005 on the PlayStation 2, and it was beloved by millions of people. Shadow of the Colossus, out now on PlayStation 4. I was lucky enough to get a review copy from Sony, and today I want to see how it plays on the PlayStation Vita, give you guys a little analysis and my thoughts and whatnot. First up, I want to talk about the controls as usual, and first thing you'll have to do if you want to play this game on Vita is go into the settings and change it to Modern Remapped. I thought that was the best one out of them all. Some of the other ones you actually couldn't use at all because of how weird the buttons are set up, and with the PlayStation Vita, like touchpad and the right stick and the left stick, there was just some stuff that was impossible. So Modern Remapped is definitely the way to go. You have to use a little bit of the touchscreen to aim, but in the end I thought it felt fine and it worked fine. When it comes to the graphics, of course this game is beautiful on PS4, but how's it hold up on Vita? Well, pretty good. The only downside is the graphics actually look a little downgraded, and that's only because the Vita screen is a lot smaller, you can't see as much detail, some of the lighting just doesn't look as good because you don't have that amazing big TV to look at. But in the end, it still looks great on the Vita screen. Some of the textures are a little blurry, but altogether, this is one of the most beautiful games that you can actually play on your PS4, so of course it's going to look good on the PlayStation Vita. The only downside that I thought was that the camera can get really far away sometimes, so aggro would be like a tiny little ant on the screen as you're running around or you're on your horse and whatnot, but that wasn't really that big of a deal. One of the things I love is that there's actually not much use of the back touch, which I always hate in remote play games, but with the Modern Remapped control scheme, I don't really remember using any back touch. I could be wrong, I should have gone back and looked, but I rarely use it, that I'm for sure of. The game actually lets you use different filters. Unfortunately, I forgot to record footage of seeing what different ones looked like on the Vita screen, but that's just something that I think you should know, because if you're not much of a fan of how it looks, particularly on the normal setting, you can go in and check all different filters. There's even like a nighttime filter. I bet that would look pretty cool on Vita. But other than that, when it comes to visuals, one of the last things I want to mention is that this game you actually don't really need to turn the brightness all the way up. Or not all the way up, but up in general. I always bring this up in a lot of my remote play reviews, that in Vita Remote Play, for some reason, the games just look a bit darker, but not with this game. I didn't really mess with it at all. I thought it was perfectly bright enough, and I thought that was great. Now, when it comes to gameplay, this is a slower paced game. Of course, there's some action moments, and it is pretty much an action puzzler type game, but it's ultimately pretty dang slow, so you don't really have to worry about, like, if you have some internet lag, it shouldn't tarnish your experience, and you're gonna have a good time no matter what. So one thing that brought back memories is I didn't jump into this game until it came to the PlayStation 3 last generation. This is one of the very few PlayStation 3 games that you can actually remote play to your PlayStation Vita. And playing this in remote play on the same Vita that I used to remote play the game on PS3 brought back a lot of memories. Of course, it looks a lot better, controls a lot better, but I just thought that was a really cool coincidence. So do I recommend playing this game on your Vita? Well, if you have a 4K TV, I actually recommend playing it on that, because this is one of the best looking video games I've ever seen. Seriously, it's gorgeous on a 4K TV, especially with that 60 frames per second up. It's completely jaw-dropping, but if you only have a 1080p TV and you love remote playing games, or you love handheld gaming in general, I recommend this playing on the PlayStation Vita. I think it works great. The touchscreen usage to aim doesn't feel that awkward after you play a little bit, and it's just overall a fun experience to be had on your PlayStation Vita. Thanks a lot for watching. Tell me what you think of these Vita Remote Play reviews. I'm trying to understand my audience a little more, to understand what they like, what they don't like, so let me know what you think. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later.